We are getting ready to install the ImoLaza Ultra Indoor Outdoor Smart Sprinkler Controller. And this is going to be replacing another smart controller that I have that I don't really like the app. So first, we're just going to take a look at what's included in the box. So first, we do have a mounting template. That's going to be really helpful. Make sure that your screws are in the exact right spot. They do need to be anchored. So this is going to make that really helpful. And then we also have the screws, anchors, and the wire nuts that we're going to need for the cord. And then I'm not sure yet what that piece is for. And then there are these labels that you can use before you switch systems, which is really helpful because I thought I was going to need to label them myself. So you're going to wrap these around each of the wires before you remove them from your old system so that you can put them into the correct spots in the new system. If you're starting from scratch, you won't necessarily need this, but this is going to be super helpful. So I'm really glad that they included that. And then we also have the instruction manual and the wiring diagram. The system also comes with keys, so if you need to lock your box, if it's in an area where people could mess with it, then you can lock it so people can't open it. And it does look really nice and sleek. It's very modern. On the inside, we have this spot here where you can label your zones. So you can write front lawn 1, front lawn 2, front lawn right, whatever, back lawn, things like that. Has a very simple dial. So for starting the system, and then there's instructions in here. So when you take this part off, it has your instructions on how you're going to do manual watering. So that I'm going to take a picture of. I do actually wish that was on this side, but it is right there. Then we have on the inside the wire kit. So this is so that you can plug it into the wall, and then you're going to put these wires with the ones to the box, and that's what these nuts are for. And then we also have these zip ties to keep things nice and tight. And then on the bottom here, we already have one of these punched out. So this is where you can put your cord. You can also put the wires to the system. And this is going to be where all of your wires go. You're going to loosen up the screw, put the wire in between, and then you're going to just tamp it down. So now that I've laid everything out and took a look at the instructions, I am ready to start installing. So before I get started, I am going to use these stickers to label each of my wires. So I know here, this is my zone 1. So this one I'll be marking with wire 1, and then the rest of them. My system does repeat colors because I have 2 fully separate manifolds. And so that's not super common, but that's going to make these stickers really, really helpful. So I'm not going to take anything off until I've completely done that. Okay, now that all of my wires are labeled, I will be ready to start putting them into the new system.
Now that they're all labeled, I can start taking them out of my old system and getting them ready for the new one. And then we're going to take that whole system off. And now that we've got that space, we're using the template and a level to make sure we have this template in the exact spot that we need it so that we can install the ImoLaza system. And once we do that, we are ready to go with putting in the wires to the new system. So I started with the power wires, and those ones go into the big red nuts that they provided. And so it's super easy. Just match up the colors, put the wire into the nut, twist, and then you're secure and ready to go. The final part of the install is to add those color-coded and labeled wires into the correct spots on the ImoLaza system. So you can see I have almost all of them in already. We're just finishing up with number 7 and number 8. This was a very, very easy system to install. Definitely can be done by a DIY. So feel confident that you can get this done yourself.
All right, so the system is all fully connected now. We do have the lock here. I'm not going to be using that part though. And then you have where you can label your zones. I feel like it looks super clean and nice. Then we have this manual control here. So it says on the back of this how that works over here. The app works so good. I don't feel like I'm going to need to do it from the panel, but you can. And then you can see this one, zone 3 is actually running at this moment. Um, so overall, super, super happy with this so far. The setup was really easy. The app use is super easy. It works really, really fast, way faster than the one that I had before.
The app for the ImoLaza is probably my favorite feature of the complete system. The reason that I was wanting to update my system was because the app I was using was very inconsistent, and I would end up not being able to use it from the app, and I would have to go to do it manually at the control center, which was really frustrating. And so I was super happy to see how quick and responsive the ImoLaza app is. So you can see here that you can set up all of your zones even with names and pictures, which I thought was super intuitive. And then if you want to run any of the systems alone, you can do a quick run. So when you do that, you just select which ones you want. And it's super convenient that it tells you the name you selected and the picture. So if you know you want to do a certain section of your lawn, you can go by the picture or how you named it. And then you just select the ones that you want to run that quick run. This is super, super helpful. And then when you have that quick run that you want to do, you just can push play and then it will start running. So you can see it's running there. My front lawn's by the trees and then or front lawn towards the house. And then what's really cool is that it also has a pause button or a skip button. So if you need to do something really quick to the sprinkler, you could always just hit pause and then it quickly turns it off. My like I said before, my old app did not do it quickly. There was always a lag. Sometimes I was waiting 5 minutes. And so with this, as soon as I push that pause button, the sprinklers pop down and I could do what I needed to do. And then I could just hit play and it would continue on with the settings that I had for the quick run without interruption. So I don't have to start it over again and adjust the times. Like it just continues on. So I thought that that was really cool and helpful. So that's the one thing I really liked that stood out to me differently from what I had before. Another thing too is the schedules have so many smart features. I haven't even been able to really dive super deep into getting it set up based on like the type of soil that I have and I don't have the rain sensor yet, so I don't have that feature, but there's so many features that make this just really intuitive and you can get so detailed in how you have your schedules running. I also like that you can set up a schedule to run multiple times. I was limited on how many times I could run a schedule, and with this, I have I don't know if it's unlimited, but I haven't met the max yet. And then one thing that's really nice is that if you're setting up multiple schedules and you accidentally start to get them to overlap, it will actually tell you that you have a conflict, and so you won't be able to continue, which is helpful because sometimes I have multiple schedules running in the same day for different areas. And if I have one overlapping, my old system would just skip it. So now I know for sure that all of my schedules are going to run as I want them to. And like I said, there are a ton of features in the app that I haven't even been able to really dive into, but for a basic setup like I have, this has been perfect. I am able to set up my schedules. I'm able to quickly do a quick run if I'm working on the sprinklers or just needed some extra water. I'm really excited though to see how it works with the weather and turning off automatically if there's rain and things like that. So, if you're looking for a really easy to use sprinkler system, this is going to be something you definitely want to check out.